got everything all set up to go live in one of the conference rooms. And then right before I went to go click live, some people came in and apparently they reserved it before me. So I had to go. But I found another place to go live, so we're good. And we are on episode 70 consistent weeks of going live on here, you guys. This has been awesome. So welcome back to another evening with Eskel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, today, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, but for those of you who are new here, we talk a lot about different culty experiences and my cult experience growing up in a polygamous cult. And today we're going to talk a little bit about fathers, with it being Father's Day, and comparing some of the differences between how I've viewed my father growing up in a cult versus how I feel like a lot of other people view their dads. Starting off with a video actually that I posted on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me right now. My Instagram is just called Eskel Grant. It's super easy to find. But I posted a really funny, a reel, I guess, on Instagram that was showing the differences of the way people view like Mother's Day versus Father's Day. And I couldn't help but laugh so hard. It was so good. Thanks so much for the donation, Denise. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta welcome all the first commenters. I really appreciate when you guys participate and comment in these videos. So welcome Bryce, Popcorn Golden, Jen, Irina, Sally, and Denise. Thank you guys and Emily, what's up? Hey. Thanks for joining, you guys. Amanda's live was really quick today, but she still shared a lot of good points, and a lot of you guys had great questions asking her about her Father's Day thoughts. So I thought that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Denise. What's up, Todd? Welcome. So anyways, I was talking about the video that I posted to my story on Instagram. It wasn't mine, someone else created it, comparing the differences between Mother's Day and Father's Day. And I found it super funny, so I reshared it in my story. And she basically was going through, so it shows the lady, preparing for Mother's Day, right? And she's in the kitchen just, going at it, making this amazing gourmet dinner, cooking super hard, making this amazing breakfast. And she goes and takes it all for her mom to have breakfast in bed, right? And it's just beautiful, gorgeous, an amazing thing. And then it jumps straight to Father's Day, and she throws a pair of socks at her dad and says, Happy Father's Day. And that's it. That's all. And so to me, I couldn't help but laugh really hard because I feel very similarly that my mom was there for me, and my mom means a lot to me. But my dad, I would probably buy him a pair of socks, I suppose. But I guess I didn't know a lot of people online have similar views. And I don't know if it's just necessarily people that grew up with not the best dads, I suppose. Or if that's just a generalized experience. Are the fathers not stepping it up? Are they not being very good dads? Or is it just, sometimes people post videos that are kind of social stigmas, I suppose, that might not be true, but they represent something, I suppose. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of my conversations with people talking about their dads, they've been a little disappointing, I feel like it's not very often I talk to someone that has had a really good, enjoyable upbringing experience with their father. So I feel like this is definitely a common issue that a lot of people have in their families. Wow, I just noticed it is a very wide angle. It's showing freaking everything, but anyways. But yeah, so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, because I always compare it to my upbringing and only having my dad come home every 3 days. Then I feel like my view of him was very skewed. And the fact that I oftentimes only talked to him one-on-one when I was in trouble, that kind of made me view my dad as this authoritarian figure and not much of a loving figure that I can confide into. And so that's basically my question to you guys. What are a lot of your guys' experience with that? And what's the expectation, Because we're talking about some of the harsh realities of life in these videos. But I also want to focus on what are some of the good things? What are some of the things that we can learn from this? What can we take away to actually highlight some of the good that fathers do? And obviously, some people were asking Amanda in her life, what's at least one thing she does appreciate about her dad? Even though as crazy and not the best that he was, there's always something good that we can find. And I think that's an interesting perspective or a good thing to still point out and bring up, because we are talking about some of the harsh things that we go through in life, but there's always going to be good things as well. So that's kind of what I want to focus on today. But anyways, what are some of you guys doing for Father's Day? Are you guys having good experiences, or are you guys scared of your dad as well? I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm not scared of my dad. I just don't get along with him very well, okay? That's all. Everyone gets gifted socks at some point. That's true. So does it just depend on how old you are? Not really if you're a dad or not, just how old you are or something. Thanks, Denise. Sorry. I don't have my official stand right now, so I gotta balance it. I'm not scared of my dad. Nice, that's good. I would hope you're not scared of your dad. Some people would ask me why I view my dad in such a negative light, and I want to share a few Father's Day stories and a few experiences that I've had with my dad, and then ask you guys if you think my dad was that great. Because I understand that, my experience with my father could be, from one small lens or whatever, not taking in the full perspective. But my dad had 32 kids. So I think that alone is probably one of the first reasons that I didn't get along with him very well and didn't get to spend much time with him and stuff. Also, I totally forgot this. I talked to my dad recently. I just the other day, I had a conversation with him, and he didn't do himself any favors. Let's just say that. Wait, what's happening? Denise, I just tried to find your Instagram and failed. Oh, I'm sorry. It should be really easy. It's just Eskel Grant. I do have my old one. I created an Instagram when I was 12. No, probably not that young. Whenever I got my first phone, or I might have done it on a computer, I don't even remember. But I created one way back when, and I forgot the password, don't know how to get it back into it. So now my new one is Eskel Grant with my updated profile picture. So there are two, but I haven't seen any other ones. Just that super old one that I don't have access to, and then my new one with my updated photo on it. So it shouldn't be too hard to find, I hope. I don't know Instagram well though. But anyways, hope you all having a great Sunday. We got 21 people on here live right now. Heck yeah. Thanks for choosing to spend Father's Day with me, you guys. That means a lot. Yeah. I don't know exactly what to take away from the conversation. Maybe I'll just tell you guys what we said, because it was super short. It was really boring, honestly. I don't even know if it's worth bringing up. But I talk to my dad pretty rarely that, I don't know. I'm just trying to make up what it could have been. Also, I totally fully admit that I generally take it in a very negative way when my dad talks to me. I think he's out to get me for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I have my reasons why, but I don't know. I want to think maybe he's just trying to be a better person now and make up for all the times he screwed me over in my life. But I don't know. I can't help but also feel like he's still a jerk, But anyways, I saw him the other day, and the conversation was super short, super brief. But out of all the things he could have said to me, right? All of the stuff that I have gone through, all the rare times that I get to see him and meet up with him, and even more rare, get to have a conversation with him. He decided, think of all the things that you would say, to your son that you haven't seen in years, that you're trying to convince some crazy religion to, that he doesn't believe in. So you've kind of distanced yourself or really disowned your kid, and you don't see him in years, and you only had talked to him when you were mad at him the past 2 or 3 years, and then you have a couple minutes to talk to him, and this is what he says to me. He says, what are you doing for work? How's your job going? When are you going to start a business? Because that's the only way you're going to make money and become successful. And then he said something along the lines of, well, I hope that works out for you. See ya. So I'm just okay, out of all the things we could have talked about, no how are you doing emotionally, no I don't know, is there anything that you're struggling with, anything I can help you with? Nothing, none of that, of course. Just straight to business. Like, are you successful yet? Are you going to become successful? Do you have a job or not? Basically. And I'm just like, okay. And my first instinct is like, oh, is he just trying to make me feel bad because I'm not like super successful or something? Is he trying to point out that, I don't know, I don't, like, I'm not done with college yet, I don't have a career. I don't know where he's going at with that, but out of all the things that he could have said to me, those were what he's decided to talk about. So I'm just like, I don't want to just jump to conclusions and be like, he's probably being mean to me, but I also have a little bit of bias to think that he wasn't coming from the nicest place when he said that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I've been trying to interpret it, but honestly, a part of me is also just like, why do I care? It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to talk to him probably till like next year. Maybe he was only nice to me because he knew Father's Day was coming up. He was like, maybe if I don't be mean to him, he won't say mean things on his videos or something. I don't know what his motives might have been, but that was the conversation. I don't fully know what it meant, but oftentimes I see my dad in a very negative light because I don't feel like I got to spend much time with him and stuff. But Lily's in the background, by the way. Lily, you want to come say hi? Come here. Oh, dang it. I don't want to see you. Up. Well, he definitely has 4 awesome kids. Oh yeah, I think that was something Amanda mentioned when you guys asked her, what's at least one thing that you like appreciate about your dad or son? And she said, I appreciate that he made like cool kids or something. I don't know. What's up, Emily? Dang, I totally lost my train of thought, But yeah, see, now I'm putting way too much thought into it. Sometimes I overthink things when really, a lot of times I feel like life is really simple and not all that crazy. And honestly, my dad's human too. I don't think my dad's this super genius, smart person. I don't think he has this whole plan of like figuring out what, like everything that he's going to say to me and like try and, I don't know, convince me to go and join his religion and stuff like that. I don't think he puts that much thought and effort into the things that he says to me. So I'm assuming it was probably just random first things that came to his mind or something like that. But I don't know. Sometimes though, like he'll ask me like, what are some of the things like why are you like view me in such a negative light? And I guess that kind of like makes me think of all of the hard things that kind of I went through with him. And like I don't have any specific like Father's Day stories that I necessarily would think are super relevant to bring up and stuff, but I do remember lots of sayings that he would have, and maybe like when he was saying it he didn't know what they fully entailed or how I would interpret them and stuff. But there's one saying that I'll never forget when he was talking about like if you're going to live in my house, you're going to follow my rules and stuff. He would also say one that really got under my skin and bothered me a lot. He would share it kind of in an example as well. He would say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And sometimes he would just say that and leave it at that. But other times he would share more about how when you're like feeding a horse, you're trying to give it food, sometimes that horse will bite you. And he's talking about how like you're just trying to feed the horse, you're trying to help the horse survive and get the nutrients that it needs, but when it bites you, that doesn't make you want to feed the horse anymore. And I'm pretty sure I'm the horse in that scenario. So to me, that was definitely kind of hard to take from him. Like hearing that, I interpreted it. I don't know if I interpreted it wrong, but I feel like I interpreted that as like, don't fight back, don't argue with me, or I'm not going to feed you. And it's like, that's kind of sad. It's pretty harsh, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he had so many kids and had just so much going on that he wouldn't really ever take the time to like actually address issues or talk about what was needed or what would be helpful in my life. It was more of like, just do as I say, or I'm not going to treat you as a decent human being. And I feel like that's definitely hard. I think this is a lot of the reasons why Amanda and I, we don't really talk about our dad very much, because most of the time it leads to some of the most dramatic things that you remember from them in your life, right? And I think it's like a biological trait inside of us for survival, you know. If you can't get food, in essence, then that you're not going to survive. And so one of the survival traits in the human body is to figure out, you know, make sure you have that way to survive, have resources, have people that's going to help you and take care of you and stuff like that. And so for me, when I first heard that, I was like, what is one thing I guess I could appreciate from my dad? And it would be to not just rely on one or a few sources to depend on for your survival, you know? Only depending on one person to keep you alive in essence, then that's not going to be the best, you know? That's not going to, that's probably not the safest way to live life. And so, yeah, I don't know. It definitely made me think about that, how even though he was really hard on me, I guess he taught me some survival skills, some things to really keep in mind in life to help me to guide myself through this life, really. But I don't know. It's harsh that it has to be so, like, almost seem like there's no, like, emotion or a compassion from it, you know? Because I understand that, like, when people are a little more hard on their kids, sometimes that can help them build tolerance and help them, in essence, be able to handle, you know, stressful work environments or coworkers that are going to be rude to them and things like that. And so I hear it all the time. People are like, don't be so soft on your kids. You got to be a little bit hard on them. But it's like, at what cost, though? You know, are you going to push your kids so far away that it's like you just have no connection to them? You'll have no involvement in their life anymore. But sure, I guess maybe you taught them how to be strong. You taught them how to be independent. You taught them how to not need you to survive. But at what cost, you know? What is your purpose, I guess, in trying to teach your kids how to survive and live through this life and things like that? But it's interesting. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, I think that's enough about fathers. Or at least about my dad. I talk with a lot of people, like I've been asked, what's the biggest difference between, you know, having polygamous parents versus, well, just generally, what's it called generally? When you're like monogamous, I guess. I think that's the word. When you're in a monogamous relationship, there's only one guy and one girl, right? Versus polygamy. And some of the things that I point out a lot is just the time that is spent. Like, I don't know if it's like just even the polygamous view on what a father's role is, I guess. Because I was thinking about, like, with polygamous, thinking that, like, there should be one dad, you know, with all these 20 kids and 3 wives. But each of the kids still have a mom with them every single day, but the dad's there one every 3 days or a couple days a week or things like that. So from that perspective, wouldn't order members also be feeling like a father isn't as important in raising a child? Whereas I personally feel like it's very important, you know, to have a father figure, to have someone there to raise the kids along with a mother figure, you know. But if you can only be there one every 3 days, then it's like, it would look very much to me like, at least from a polygamous perspective, that you only need a third of a father to be successful, or you only need to be raised by 1/3 or 1/5 of a dad. And as long as you have your mom, then you're good. Which, maybe that's how they view it. I don't know. But I definitely feel like it could be beneficial to have a father in a child's life every day of the week, you know? Or as often as it can be. But it's kind of interesting. Kind of like... It's funny because I know from the order's perspective, like, they put so much value on the man, and the fathers are supposed to be this super important thing, but then it's almost like the way that they're living kind of devalues the a father, you know? It kind of paints this image that a father isn't needed to raise kids, in essence. Or at least not all of a father. You can have 1/5 of a father or something like that, I guess, and that's all that's needed. But it's kind of weird because they also paint this picture that, like, the father's one of the most important parts of the family, and, like, that they're the ones that are that ticket to get everyone to heaven and stuff like that. It's very interesting how they have different views and perspectives, but some of the things that they actually live by contradict the way that they teach. But I found that a lot, and a lot of the different doctrines and teachings that they have, there's oftentimes lifestyles or ways that they live that contradict exactly what they're teaching. So I feel like this is probably just another one of those, but who knows? I don't know. Anyways, something else that's been pretty cool in my life is TikTok. I went live on TikTok with Julie. I don't know if you guys know Julie. She just did a lot of videos about the Duggard family. The Duggard family has like a ton of kids, and so she did a video about that. And I reached out to her, and she invited me onto her live. I went live with her this morning at like 10 a.m. or something like that, and it was awesome. There was a ton of people in the live. A lot of people had a bunch of questions, and she was so good at asking questions. I think this might have been her first time interviewing someone from a polygamous family, and so she was like super curious as well. She had a lot of really great questions. It was an amazing interview. I definitely suggest going and checking it out. She also posts a lot of other really fun videos as well. But I asked her if we could do a live with 3 people, with me, my sister Amanda, and with her. And we're going to try to schedule one either sometime this week or this weekend. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I'm trying to do more videos on TikTok. I'm still new to it, so I don't know exactly how it works. Oh, but that was another thing. She was so helpful because TikTok doesn't let you go live unless you have 1,000 followers. And I only had like 400 followers or something. But she really wanted to do the live, and we didn't know how else to do it. So she was like promoting my TikTok and encouraging people to go follow it. And I got up to 1,000 followers really quickly, so I was able to do the live with her. So she was super helpful, really nice. It was awesome. I really appreciate her. But yeah, what else? A lot of people were on it too. A lot of different people. I think TikTok also has a whole nother audience of people, and some of them might be younger too. It kind of seemed like a little bit of a younger audience. So lots of different questions, interesting perspectives, looking in on it, asking all sorts of different things about it. So it was really cool. But yeah, what else happened today? A lot of stuff going on. Dang, I think I went through everything. Oh man. My live might be a short one like Amanda's. I wonder what Amanda was doing that made her so short. Oh, that was another topic I want to talk about. Last week, we got a little bit heated with Amanda. I was so glad she was able to join my live. We did a combined live. If you didn't watch it, go check out my last evening with Eskel, number 69, I think it was. We went for like 2 hours talking about all sorts of different like perspectives with her, what her view is from being a woman, and talking about like dating and different expectations and stuff like that. And it was actually really fun. I feel like I learned a lot. And I was telling this to Julie. I was like, when she was asking me lots of questions about like, what are some of the differences from being a guy in the cult versus maybe like my sisters growing up in it and stuff like that, like what are some of the key things that you have noticed, or that you wish like you would have recognized and noticed when you first left the group? And it really got me reflecting, especially after that last live talk with my sisters. And I have talks with my sisters all the time about this stuff, because I don't know how girls think. I think, there's definitely different views and different ways that we approach things and view things. So I know that it can be kind of complicated with trying to fully understand the way that women think, and the way that like how to treat them in the best way that they would want to be treated, and just to have that kind of like equality, that equal respect and kindness amongst one another, which I feel like I do really good with my sisters. Amanda and we argue a little bit, but like I still do my best to like respect them, be nice to them, and like not think like I did back in the group, you know? And I was telling Julie that I remember when I first left, it wasn't an instant transition, you know? You don't leave a cult and grow up for 18 years of your life being taught that like, oh, boys are so great and boys have the priesthood and girls don't, and girls have to be submissive to the guy, you know? And so I admitted to her, I told her like, yeah, I knew that there was a lot of this brainwashing, you could call it, or this like type of view that these cult members had on women, right? And I remember growing up and being like, in the order, like we know that we are, I wouldn't call it racist, you know, because in the order they think that they're not racist, but I would be like, it's very clear that we treat people of different colors differently. And we even teach that, you know, they can't necessarily go to heaven, and there's no colored people in the polygamous Kingston cult. And so that was very clear and obvious. And then it was super obvious too to ask questions about, you know, the different roles of men and women. And it doesn't take many questions to realize that they view women very differently. And oftentimes it looks degrading, you know? It looks like they don't value the women as much as the men. And so just from asking a few questions, you can quickly see that they have this type of, I guess there's no other way to call it, but a belief system that is talking about how you view different people of different races versus the view of like people of different genders, and even, you know, you won't have to ask many questions to get their viewpoints on LGBTQ and things like that. And it was very quick to see that they do judge people and kind of put people in this category based off of very arbitrary things, you know, just off of their skin color or just off of their gender and things like that. And to me, I remember just like, as I was talking to Julie, I was like, it was really weird to be like told that my whole life and be like, oh, these are some important things that you need to notice, and in essence judge people for them. And then, you know, leaving the cult and deciding for myself that like there's no real reason why they should be treated differently. There's no real reason why you should have these automatic judgments about people just off of the way that they look, you know? And so I felt like when I was talking to Julie, it was really refreshing and nice to be able to like share how when I first left, I got to decide those for myself. I got to actually realize that there doesn't have to be these pre-placed judgments on people that, you know, I don't know what they've gone through. I don't know the lifestyles that they have or all the struggles that they may be going through. And, you know, I truly believe that everyone is, you know, born equal from birth. You know, we all have these opportunities to learn and to grow together, and it wouldn't make sense to me for you to just from birth one person be at a higher status or more important or you know, able to go to heaven versus somebody else. That just doesn't make sense to me. And so like it's definitely relieving and peaceful to be able to decide for myself that like I want to treat everybody equally. I want to have what you would call like true world love, you know, love for all and hope for world peace and stuff like that. And I just think that, you know, there's so many good things that can come from having diversity amongst people, having unity, and you know, not having prejudgments for people, for sure. So I think that that's really important. And Julie was great. She asked really good questions about that as well. So I don't want to dive in and like go through all the same questions, but you should definitely check it out. My TikTok name is just the same as my YouTube name. It's called Eskel's Cult Experience. I wonder if I have those actual lives shared or not, though. I'll have to go and check on that. But yeah, a lot of great conversations with her as well. So I think that was a lot of fun. As soon as I figure out when I'm going to go live with her again, then I'll try to post that on my Instagram and let you guys know. And it should be a lot of fun. Let's go from there. But I think that's pretty much everything I had to say so far. Oops, covered the camera there. But What are you guys talking about? Ooh, lots of discussions. Candles. Ooh, great question, Denise and Emily. So my candles, I made a bunch of the summer ones. So I have the summer ones out right now. I have the citrusy ones and a rose one, I think it was called. They're mixed. Like the citrus one is like a blood orange and lemon maybe? I don't remember. And then the rose one was like rose and lilac, if I remember correctly. But it should say on Amanda's website. But I'm glad you liked them, Emily. Yeah, I really enjoy making the candles. I am really picky about different scents and the way things smell and stuff like that. So I really like being able to go and make my own candles. It was really fun. And I'm going to, the next batch, hopefully if I can sell all of the summer ones, then I'll make a fall one. Everyone loves the fall and Christmas candles, so those ones do really well. So those will be a fun one to make next. But what else is going on? Not too much more. I think that's really everything. I mean, hopefully you guys are all having good Father Day experiences. I had a good Sunday for sure. I had a lot of fun talking with Julie. I did a phone call with Amanda today. It was really nice. Been getting used to traveling, going new places. I've been like going to Seattle and stuff, visiting new places. It's been really fun. But yeah, nothing too crazy going on. Whew. Let's see. Yeah, I'm visiting with Rachel as well. It's been really fun, to visit her and Lily. Her dog is so fluffy, so big. The rose and lilac one sounds really tempting to buy, LOL. Yeah, I heard a lot of people say they like it. It's very flowery, so if you like flowery scents and stuff, you'll like it. Daniel, you're picky about scents as well. Yeah, I am too. So I feel like my candles are a little more subtle. I still try to make them so that they, they have, you can tell the scent and it's like decently strong, but I don't like overpowering. So mine are kind of like, I would say that they're mild. You can definitely smell them though. They smell really good, especially as they burn, but they're not super strong. So they're not gonna like hurt or like overpower everything, But yeah, they're fun to make. They're super simple. I don't know if I posted a video of making them before, but at least the way I make them, I like to just make them in a very simple way, super easy. It's nice. I always want to make candles, but I'm lazy. That rose one does sound like it would smell good. I love rose scented things. Yeah, a lot of people like it. That's why I chose that one. Rose and lilac, super popular for sure. Thank you, Brooke. Appreciate it. Man, you guys are so supportive. This is awesome. So I'm excited to do more lives. I still do lives on Instagram as well. Just do on there, I'm trying to just do this series of controversial topics, just talking about controversial things, getting people's opinions and ideas to mostly just bring awareness to them. Because a lot of these things, I feel like people are afraid to talk about certain things because we don't have all the answers. We don't know exactly what laws should be made for what necessarily, but not talking about them isn't going to help, If you're afraid to talk about things, then it's not going to necessarily actually help the situation. And so I think making it more okay and common to have discussions about politics, about religion, about controversial things is a good thing, because that's going to help us to at least bring awareness to what is going on, what laws are being created and why, and then we as the people, we're supposed to be able to vote on them. Technically we're supposed to have a say in all of the laws. So if there's a law that's absurd, that that should be brought to our attention. I feel like that should be our concern to be able to address and talk about. Doesn't Cammie have a podcast? Amanda mentioned it, but didn't catch the name. Yeah, she does have a podcast. Flip, I don't remember what the name of her podcast is, but I'll have to I'll look it up. I'll post it either on my Instagram or put it in one of the descriptions, because yeah, I did a podcast with her on her Spotify podcast is where she posts them. And hers is all about freedom of speech. That's a big one. I had one of my Instagram lives about freedom of speech with Cami, actually, because she loves talking about it. She really likes kind of like getting down into the nitty gritty about all of the like rules and regulations that come from freedom of speech, and how here in America, like there's a lot that should be allowed and encouraged to be able to talk about anything and everything, right? But apparently, and I didn't know this even at first, but she helped me to realize that there are a few things the way freedom of speech is restricted. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, even though when she first told me that, I was like, no way. I want to be able to say whatever I want, whenever I want. But it's like, actually, there are very rare cases where, because of incidences and problems, there are some restrictions to our freedom of speech. And so I still don't know exactly what, like, I'm not the best at explaining all of this, but yeah, there are some laws that restrict some of our freedom of speech, and essentially that's okay. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, I guess, but in some situations, and you know, I feel like the laws change sometimes. Like, it's not always set in stone. We don't have the perfect system, the perfect government, for sure. There's a lot of things due to change because we're all imperfect people, you know. We're all trying to live together, and we're all very different, you know. That diversity that is good and healthy for us is also going to come with some, you know, extra effort and work that needs to be done to better explain, to better understand one another, to be able to work together and actually be a success. So I think that's definitely important for sure. But yeah, I'm just excited for the future. I think I'm trying lots of new things, and reaching out on lives, reaching out to new people. The lives are really fun. There's something about being live and being able to be in the moment, address the comments, have people like jump in and have their questions answered and stuff right there in the moment are really fun, and I enjoy that a lot. And so I'm going to be able to do that a lot more on TikTok as well. I totally want to try soap and candle making. I've never made soap before. I've heard that it's very similar though. Some people have told me that it's easier than making candles actually, but I've never given it a try. Candles are the only things I've made so far, but they're a lot of fun for sure. My favorite part is picking out the scents. There's so, like, you can literally make a candle out of any scent you want, so it's a lot of fun. You can get creative with it. Sweet. Awesome. Well, I think that's everything for this live, you guys, but thanks so much for joining. I hope you all have a happy Sunday, and of course I'll do my another Evening with Eskel live next Sunday, but I'm also going to be going live on TikTok. Hopefully on Friday I'll still do a live on Instagram as well, possibly with Abigail, or maybe even I'm just reaching out to new people. If anyone that I can get to want to just have a discussion, we can pick a fun topic to discuss and go live on Instagram. Instagram is really just my experimental. We'll just go talk about really anything and everything. It's a lot of fun. And then TikTok, I'm going to try to go live with Julie and Amanda again soon, and that should be a lot of fun. So what is this week's video about? Well, are you talking about this live? This one we mostly talked about polygamous fathers, but yeah, there's a lot of different things. But really, Eskel, I truly want the best for you. Hope your live goes well. Thank you. How can you? Oh dang, that's a lot of interesting stuff. Dang. Let's see. Oh, I keep covering my camera. Wow, lots of comments going on, you guys. Nice. I like the interactions. Thank you guys for joining. I think I'm pretty much out of time for today. But yeah, oh, I was going to say, so this video was about Father's Day. The video I did with Julie, though, was talking about just some of the differences between my experience growing up and how the Kingston Polygamous group have different beliefs than, like, you know, the FLDS or the AUB group and stuff like that. But it was really fun. She came up with questions that I haven't heard before, so it was really awesome to be able to talk with her and answer all of her questions. And we did it live too, so a lot of her followers were able to ask questions in the comments, so it was fun. Go enjoy your time with your sister. Oh, thanks, Denise. I will. We definitely will. It's been so fun exploring the city and even going out to the forest and going out in nature. It's been a lot of fun. Sweet. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hope you all have a great Sunday, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.